What's going on, guys? It's Jimmy here with your fourth stimulus check update and daily news report. If I took you back to the beginning of 2020, not even a year and a half ago, and told you that a new type of molecule can potentially lead to tragedy and puts tens of millions of people at risk, and it's about to wreak havoc on the planet and cause mass government shutdowns across the world, restrict small businesses from operating, hurt the global supply chain, cause shortages of basic supplies, and cause a global stock market crash. And the introduction of multiple stimulus checks and stimulus packages, and now an infrastructure package, mandated masks, and a global race to approve a vaccine, you would have thought I was crazy. Yet here we are in mid April 2021 after a Democratic sweep of the last election. After three stimulus checks have already been passed, six different stimulus packages in total, and a fourth stimulus check package on the way amidst a once in 100-year global pandemic. Well, I have learned a lot from this tragedy. And well, without this tragedy, my channel probably wouldn't even be here and I wouldn't be speaking with you today. When America was in distress and tens of millions of people were looking for an outlet to get the latest information on stimulus updates, I thought, hey, maybe I could help fill that gap. And here we are with my YouTube channel and you. And I am the prime example about how a business can spring out of a necessity because of the financial reset and really the business reset that we are going through. The term reset basically describes a new reality, a new normal, which is a process that creates fortunes for some and results in devastating losses for others. Every reset in human history clearly has winners and losers, and it brings to the surface new ideas that weren't conceived of prior. Sending stimulus checks to American citizens, such as $1,200 stimulus checks, $600 stimulus checks, $1,400 stimulus checks, and more stimulus checks on the horizon before this pandemic was a complete pipe dream. A lot of people don't even still believe that these stimulus checks are a real thing. Of course, you believe it when the money's in your account. But yeah, if we go back even a year ago, stimulus checks and this entire idea was complete, just out of this world. But now it's kind of perfectly normal and a part of the American life. Take, for example, gym and gym owners. The majority of them, or a large percentage of them, have already gone bust, filing for bankruptcy, and going into debt to stay afloat. In fact, over 20% of small businesses have completely gone out of business because of this pandemic. On the flip side, look at companies that adjusted and provide a way to train at home. Their values have gone up by 300% or more in literally just a year. A reset really accelerates change or mandates change. It makes it so that a business must act, they must adapt to the changing reality or face disaster. You could say that this once in 100-year pandemic nightmare has made businesses pivot and compelled them to action or deal with failure and closure. This company picture here enjoyed the fact that everybody had to sign documents online, and look what happened to its share price. It went up by over 500%. This company enjoyed the fact that everybody had to shop online, and it's up by 1,000%. I could go on and on. The main lesson here is that if you find the industry, the next industry that this will occur with, one stands a chance to reap similar rewards. I believe that I am onto that new mandated change, a coerced shift, which could lead to a rush of business coming to this company, which you may have never heard of up until this moment. Its name is Direct Communications Solutions on the US stock market under the ticker symbol DCSX. It's a very small company, just like many of the above were before a flood of new customers came their way and were compelled to come to them. Because its shares trade over the counter, one can use any of the large, reputable, and known brokerages to consider ownership and taking a position in it, pictured here on the screen. This is the key, the fact that there is a reset in the industry that Direct Communication Solutions operates in. which could be very beneficial to its prospects in the future, which is why I'm sharing it here with you today. You can read all the details about our relationship with Direct Communication Solutions down below in the description of this video. And I want to show you why Verizon, US Cellular, Sprint, AT&T, and other large carriers are driving customers towards direct communication solutions, which just received one of the largest purchase orders in the history of the company. So timing here is of the essence. Stick with me here while I'm getting to the meat of this juicy story. Okay, so if you literally want to talk about a once in a decade event, a situation that is happening right now and is probably the birth of a major opportunity for growth. A reset that will create fortunes for some, and it has to do with the fact that AT&T, Verizon, T-Mobile, all of them are completely shutting down their 2G networks. Everything that currently runs on 2G, and there are actually millions of things that run on 2G, not counting, your cell phone, your brand new cell phone doesn't, but there's so many other things that do. And all of these items, a lot of these sensors that have 2G chips in them now have to all be replaced. Sensors are essential to our way of life. All around us, literally everywhere, in so many different places, sensors are absolutely crucial to the data technology of the world today. And because of the internet, literally sensors are an essential thing, and it's booming with significant growth. Guys, many of you know my background. I've been an entrepreneur and an investor for over 20 years. And I was fortunate enough back in the day to start a limo and bus company with just one limo. And I grew that to a fleet of 15 with hundreds of employees that worked for me and my wife throughout the years. And we sold that limo company with over 15,000 customers at the time. Well, all of those vehicles, and not just my vehicles, but vehicles all across the world, are equipped with sensors all over the place, tracking a whole bunch of different data points and helping manage fleets. I know this personally. Now think about all of the fleets across the country that have millions of different sensors, but also sensors in other things such as refrigeration systems, toilet systems, appliance systems. All of these that are running on 2G now need to be replaced. And guess what? All these major cellular carriers are saying that they're going to shut down their 2G networks. So literally millions and millions of sensors across the world are going to need to replace their sensors to 4G technology. Because when these companies officially pull the plug on the 2G network, all of those sensors will be completely worthless and will need to be replaced. That's where Direct Communication Solutions, a small company which has designed and developed proprietary hardware and software, comes into play. This proprietary hardware and software does the work of 8 different sensors all in one. And it's 70% cheaper than anything on the market. Now you know why I was so keen to take them on as a sponsor of the show. There is a reset in the sensor industry mandating scores of businesses to replace old 2G sensors to now updated to at least 4G sensors. And there's millions of these, so the timing is very critical. Some things only come along once, so remember that when 2G is shutting down now. And you can learn more about the direct communication solutions down below in the description of this video is a link for you to click on. So click on that link, check out that company and their stock, and let me know what you think. Okay, so let's talk about all the different stimulus items that lawmakers in Congress are currently talking about having in the fourth stimulus check package, the infrastructure/stimulus package. Let's go through the different stimulus items that could end up in there before all is said and done. Number one is stimulus checks. Democrats in Congress, about 100 of them now, between the House and the Senate, are pushing for President Biden and the White House to include a fourth stimulus check in this next package. The question is will they do it, and how much will it be? We actually have 2 different bill proposals, one from the Senate and one from the House. Both are pushing for actually not just one stimulus check, but a monthly stimulus check for recurring direct payments. There's a difference between the two bills that are currently out there right now. Number one is from the Senate. We have Senator Ed Markey and Senators Elizabeth Warren are pushing President Biden for $2,000 monthly stimulus checks. This is currently around half of the Democrats in the Senate are behind this bill for $2,000 monthly stimulus payments until the pandemic is over. Around half the Democrats have come out publicly and said, yes, we want not just one stimulus check in this bill, but $2,000 monthly stimulus checks. This is the bill from the Democrats in the Senate. The bill from the Democrats in the House is for a $2,000 one time stimulus check. By the way, the Senate bill goes until the pandemic is over. The bill from the House is for a $2,000 one time stimulus check and then $1,000 monthly recurring stimulus payments. But this goes for until 1 year after the pandemic is over. So, Dr. Fauci says that the earliest the pandemic could be declared over would be the end of this year. So, just think December 31st is the earliest that really any of the experts expect that the pandemic could be declared over in the United States. If we continue to see flare ups like we're seeing right now, well, this could go well into 2022. And really, with the jobless claims that over 700,000 people every week are filing for new unemployment benefits. These are brand new people every single week. 700,000 of them are losing their jobs every single week. It really doesn't look like the economic portion of the recovery will be done anytime soon. I mean, that's a lot. That's 2.8 million people. Maybe if you round up at 722,000 this week, you're looking at 3 million people losing their jobs every single week. So this is well above the pre-pandemic levels. So remember, we're dealing with two different problems right now: the virus and the pandemic, the once in a 100-year pandemic. But we're also dealing with the economic problems. The we just seen a report that we covered in the last video. 22% of all small businesses went out of business in February. 700,000 people are losing their jobs every week, brand new people. And well, there's a long way to go for the economic portion of the recovery. And most economists say that spending stimulus now will bring us out of the recession or the depression faster and actually pays for itself in the long run. So in some ways, it's considered a free lunch. I know that most people say there's no free lunch. But for example, if here's just a loose example, if you spend $1 trillion right now on another stimulus package, just for round numbers, you spend $1 trillion now, it goes on to the debt, okay? But you come out of the recession 6 months faster, and that gets you an extra $1 trillion in tax revenue and economic revenue because well, the economy got back got built back better. It got better, and millions of people got their jobs faster. That creates more tax revenue, so you can bring in $1 trillion, say, by coming out of the recession 6 months earlier. So that's how you could see how it could be a free lunch. And a lot of economists say spending money now to get us out of the economic part of the recession can actually pay for itself. It's an interesting theory, and that's why when we go back to the 1929 crash, when they didn't have stimulus packages, they didn't have Social Security, they didn't have unemployment benefits, they basically had nothing. That's why it took just so many years, and the crashes were so much worse back then because there wasn't stimulus packages. They didn't have unemployment benefits. They didn't have Social Security benefits. There was nothing to prop up the economy. So basically, without a safety net or two or three, basically the economy just hit and fell off the trapeze and hit hard, much harder than can ever happen today because of the modern day stimulus package and unemployment benefits and the Social Security program. I mean, we just went over this in the last video. The Social Security program's only been around since 1935. Before then, seniors had no income when they retired. And that's why a lot of people couldn't retire and didn't live as long as they did today because, yeah, there was just, they had to work forever. and they had no benefits. And then all these different social programs that we have today will never go away because it's almost archaic to think that we wouldn't have these programs today. Next up is the child income tax credits. This is one of the largest stimulus programs going on right now. This was increased from former President Donald Trump to $2,000, and now President Biden has increased it to $3,000 for children over the age of 6 through 17, and $3,600 for children under the age of 6. The IRS is trying to set up a program to start possibly as early as July to pay you this money in monthly form of $250 to $300 per month. But this package, so $3,600 or $3,000 per child, this is in addition to the $1,400 stimulus checks, okay? This is an amazing program. This is probably the largest stimulus program, larger than stimulus checks of $1,400 if you have children. And this is for every single child, okay? $3,000 to $3,600. However, the third stimulus check program only increased this for 1 year, so only for the year 2021. There's been talk, and actually almost all Democrats are for it. In fact, I can't think of any Democrats that have spoken out against it, and that is increasing this for more than 1 year. We could see that happen in this fourth stimulus package, the infrastructure/stimulus package, before all is said and done. They could add an additional another 1 year, 2 year, 3 year, 5 years of extending this child income tax credit. So it's not just for this year of 2021, but it could be for 2022, 23, 24, 25. That could be included, and there's a lot of support for that. The next thing that could be included in this package before all is said and done is two things. The unemployment extension, the bonus, $300 per week, could be extended all the way until possibly the end of the year, December 31st, included in this package. This is, at this point, anybody that lost their job during the pandemic, because we're about a year from the start of the pandemic at this point. So really, you're talking about anybody that lost their job during this pandemic would get $300 per week unemployment extension. So that's number one, is they could extend that all the way to the end of the year, and they could do it in this package or possibly the next package. The next thing that could be included is the unemployment tax credit that makes the first $10,200 of unemployment income tax-free. Now, in the third stimulus check package, they passed this, but it was retroactive for last year, for 2020. They do not have this credit for 2021. That is another thing that they could include in this package or the next package, to have basically your first $10,200 be tax-free income, unemployment income. This is, it's only for unemployment income or unemployment bonus income, any type of unemployment income. They already have this for 2020. This means the average person will get about $1,000 back from the IRS, basically an extra $1,000 stimulus check, based on your tax rate. So if your effective tax rate is about 10%, you're going to get about 10% back, or $1,000. If your effective tax rate is around 25%, you could actually get about $2,500 back, just from the simple inclusion of a simple provision that they added in the third stimulus check package. They could add this in the next stimulus package or the infrastructure package to do this for the year 2021 as well. Next up is Medicare expansion and extra Medicare benefits. Bernie Sanders, who's the Senate Budget Chairman, is leading the charge on this. He's also considered Joe Biden's right-hand man. He aims to lower the Medicare eligibility age as part of this infrastructure package. In addition to that, add extra benefits. As you can see here, Senator Bernie Sanders wants to include an expansion of Medicare eligibility as part of the economic recovery package Democrats are trying to pass this year, the infrastructure package. He wants to lower the eligibility age for coverage to age 60 or 55 and expand coverage to include dental and vision, paying for the change by allowing Medicare to negotiate prices with drug companies, which could also lead to lower prescription prices. That is a really big thing they want to do in this package, is lower prescription prices. And we could see part of that done by things like this, actually paying for part of the Medicare proposal by lowering prescription prices and actually having the government pay less for prescriptions. As you can see here, Democrats will likely pass part or all of their massive infrastructure and recovery package through the budget reconciliation process, which does not require Republican votes. And the Senate parliamentarian ruled last week that they can pass at least two more packages or bills through the budgetary reconciliation process, contrary to what some other people said who either just had wrong information or sharing wrong information or don't know what they're talking about or didn't research it enough. The Democrats were saying this before this, and they had the Senate parliamentarian rule on it just to make extra clear. They can pass two more bills through the reconciliation process to bypass the filibuster rule in the Senate. So they only need 50 votes in the Senate instead of 60 to pass this next package, and really another package after that. Next up is we could see a further increase or extension of time, possibly until the end of the year, of the increase of SNAP benefits and also WIC benefits and EBT benefits. They could add an extension on this to go all the way until the end of the year for these benefits and or add additional benefits as well. Next up, in the second stimulus check package, they have a program that's already passed that the government will provide up to $9,000 in funeral assistance for anybody that passed away last year. I don't believe it covers 2021, so we could see an expansion of this sometime this year or pass in one of the packages this year. By the way, this package this availability for this starts tomorrow. As you can see here, this is on FEMA.gov. This is the phone number to call, 844-684-6333. And applications begin tomorrow to apply for this. If you had a family member pass away from COVID, you can actually get reimbursed up to $9,000 from the government. And this program starts tomorrow, or if you're watching this in the morning, today, Monday, April 12th. The other thing we could see is student loan forgiveness. However, I think the president is going to do this through a presidential executive order. This will keep the cost down on the actual infrastructure slash stimulus package, as they'll just do it through an executive order. Everybody's almost certain that they can do it through an executive order, and Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer says they can do it through an executive order. So, yeah, I definitely think that that'll be done, but it won't be done in the package. It'll be done through an executive order. So let me know your thoughts. Make sure to subscribe down below so you don't miss out on new videos. And don't forget to check out that link down below in the description of this video for Direct Communications Solutions and their stock. So information is links are down below in the description of this video. Thanks, guys, and I will see you in the next video.